What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Predcast episode 20. All right, I got a great cast here with me. Let's introduce ourselves first, and then we're going to jump right into it because we got patch notes and we got what we'd like to call a little wish list we're going to talk about here today. So thank you all for showing up. Pinzo, thank you so much for that raid. And let's start off with you, Pinzo. You're the star of the show here with that huge raid coming in. So appreciate it. How was that game? You're still sweating. You got the bandana on. I'm surprised.
I am still sweating. That was like a 50-minute game. It was Lakeinator was on the enemy team and he was killing everyone. And that was it. That was the whole game. We were like defending, then we almost won a couple times. Yeah, that was a wild game. Anyway, I'm Pinzo. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Twitch, stream every day, YouTube, that kind of stuff. So, if you guys enjoy, stop by. I'm epic. I'm super toxic. I'm a big gamer guy. So yeah, if you guys like what you see, stop by, I guess.
All right. And for those of you who don't know, you can see right there behind him, he tries on different headbands. Like, which one matches my outfit? So he's got a bunch of them ready to go.
Yeah. Glue, you gotta stay coordinated.
Gotta stay coordinated. All right. And then Joe, yours truly. Let's hear from you.
Hey everyone, so this is Joe yours truly. I'm a Predecessor content creator on YouTube. I upload daily content like commentary and gameplay. So I just upload gameplay that hopefully be able to help inform you guys, maybe teach you guys some new stuff. But more importantly, we're just here to have a good time, just kind of have some chill vibes. So just really trying to have fun and you guys can hopefully have fun with me in those gameplay videos.
All right. That's awesome. Yes. And your videos are always great. So, So, as for myself, I am the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder. Excited to bring this episode here to you. Sorry, that's my work phone. I am on call today, so just a heads up. I might just hand this over and we'll just end stream later on. It's like, hey, Pinzo, take the lead, and my stream will just keep going live until I get back to shut it down, or we'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But anyways, let's get into this. We got patch today. You guys had a chance to play it. I didn't get a chance to play it, so quick first thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts on it? I know I saw your title. You're all excited about the huge carry nerfs that had happened there. So what's your thoughts there, Pinzo?
The title was satirical. I
like how you said that. Satiric.
I'm just making sure people know. Okay, huge was in quotes. Just making sure. I played a game. I played Drongo. I bought the 5 carry items that they nerfed, and I think I ended the game like 11-1. Which, maybe I'm just playing against shitters. Like that's an option. But the point is, on that build, I lose at the end of the game. Building all of the nerfed items, I lose like 10 power, 3% lifesteal, and a little bit of damage on Lightning Hawk. And that's like it, right? It's just so minimal to me. I don't know. I wish they would nerf things a little harder, in my opinion.
I do see that they have a very soft hand when they do their nerfing,
which works. Again, if you people are going to point out games like League, like Smite, where you see items that get a 5% or a 5 power decrease and then they fall out of the meta, right? They don't have enough items in this game to make that happen.
Right. Yep. Nope. And that's going to be a thing as they get old, as the game gets older, right? And as they get more things to go on, more heroes, more items, and things you can do a little more heavier. You could do smaller nerfs and see a bigger advantage, or bigger
for sure.
See a bigger thing happen. I can't think of words right now. Sorry.
It's just like in Smite, you saw it. I'm assuming a lot of you guys aren't Smite players, but carries in Smite build lifesteal first item, and they just nerfed the big stacking lifesteal item, Dev Gauntlets. They just nerfed it, and guess what? There's another item that gives comparable stats with a different passive, and now that is the picked up item because Dev Gloves got nerfed. So now Bloodforge is being built first every game, and that's just like when you have multiple items, then it works. In this game, you nerfed Terminus by 3%. There's not an alternative to Terminus. Right. People are still going to build it first. It's just going to be a little worse, which still sort of helps the power level of carries. It just it's it's not quite as healthy as if you had multiple alternatives.
Yeah, just to bring context, in Smite and League of Legends, I think all the carry items are like crit based, right? There's no like
Not in Smite.
Because I think League is the same thing. It's all like crit based builds is what you're gonna do for ADC. So that's an interesting point you say that there's not enough like items, because technically what they're trying to do with the whole balance patch a while ago, what they're trying to do 3 different build paths for ADCs: penetration, on hit, and crit. But that's like 3 different kind of builds you're trying to make in just one kind of pool of ADC items. So like you said, like the on hit lifesteal item is Keen's Fade, the crit lifesteal item is Terminus. There's no like alternative. You either go that or you don't have lifesteal, and if you try to go a certain build path. So you're right that there's not enough like items, or rather just not as many variety in the 3 build paths. Right now, it's part of the most bare bones we have at the moment because of the recent change of path.
Well, and I think another thing to think about is that there's only 5 item slots in this game, right? In League and Smite, you have 6 item slots. So you have the ability to, maybe you're playing Spare and you want to go an on-hit build. If you had 6 item slots, you could splash crit at the end, right? Or something like that, or extra pen, or what have you. You have the ability to do that. With 5 item slots, you're pretty restricted on like, you really have to commit to a build, right? And what they did with the carry patch, it really just kind of like buffed it so that you can have now 4 crit items and an extra item, right?
Right.
You don't need to full commit to crit anymore, because you don't have to, because you have a 5th item slot. So it's I'd like to see them maybe explore the thoughts of a 6th item slot. Maybe you can buy a 6th item slot late game or something like that, or you can sell your crest or upgrade your crest a 4th time for like 5,000 gold, something like that. I'd like to see it explored.
Didn't the old crest items used to have 20% crit on them? So you have a crest at 20% crit, and then you build out 4 items with crit. Then you do like a flex slot for crit.
They did. You are correct. Yeah. You did still have a flex slot before, right? Which I guess you still have, but they buffed all the items, so I guess it got stronger overall.
Yeah, but no, it's like you look for like crit builds, you almost go the same items just because there's not a whole ton of crit items. And all the crit items are actually really strong. Like
they're really good.
They only got minor nerfs. They still like, I think, outpace like the on hits and penetration builds. Like the on hit penetration builds are still viable. It's just, I think, across the board, it's just not as strong as crit builds. Like look at Revenant carry late game on the crit build. That's very kind of fun to see him pop heads left and right kind of thing. But maybe that's like a Revenant issue, not like the crit build. Maybe crit build to the naval.
I do think Rev is the outlier in all of these conversations, because there's only one way to build him, right? You're not building on hit Rev, right?
Yeah,
much,
so
you're not building attack speed Rev either. So you're pretty much limited, in that situation. But Odo says
the outlier.
Oh, I agree. Odo says patch notes definitely felt like the nerds would have been lacking, so I think he's asking for the nerds to be buffed. Buff the nerds. But I believe he meant nerfs would have been lacking. I agree. I feel like they've approached this with almost all of their patches. I feel like every one of their nerfs have been just kind of like a very anti heavy hand, towards it. So I think that's they need to. This is early access, and this is the perfect time for them to try a heavy-handed nerf or buff or whatever. Hey, Jelly Knees, and see what it's like, and to see how much it adjusts and see where the numbers take you. Like, okay, let's put this much of a buff on this. Let's put this much of a nerf on this. Like, wait a minute, that was too much, and bring it back. Because it's gonna have to happen, right? Like let's test it. Let's see what those numbers look like now, and go from there. I think that's just the best way to do it. It's early access.
I think also right now it's just a little bit slower time of game in terms of like the patch where we at right now. I'm anticipating the next patch 2 weeks from now. They always kind of tease it. It's going to be a really big doozy. And along with all the different features we'll hopefully see, I'm anticipating we're going to also get a much larger balance patch. Because right now it's just like the last 2 weeks of season 1. There's no need to really shake up the meta. So unfortunately, we're going to just have to deal with the ADCs being a little like strong-ish kind of thing at the moment. But I'm anticipating 2 weeks we're going to hopefully get a brand new meta along with all the really cool features, hopefully. So that's kind of like where my thoughts are at.
Yeah. No, and I saw that they posted in Gen Chat, or Kari posted in Gen Chat, like, hey, sorry, I was gonna push patch notes, yesterday or whatever the day it was. I can't remember the exact day it happened, and then they Fallen Jedi, thank you for the sub, man. You're a beast. Hey, I was gonna post these, but we're waiting to try to get something else added. Oh my gosh, Jedi, you're amazing, dude. What in the hell? Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to keep on getting interrupted. Things keep on happening in chat. They were posting, we're gonna post them later today because we were basically, the way it sounded was things were going to get added, or they were trying to do last minute things to add things to the patch. And then you read the patch notes, it's like, all right, nothing was added. What the? Oh.
Jedi do be that kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jedi. This is gonna be insane, dude. All right. So, and then they say that they go read the patch, like you read it and it's like, hey, we're not able to get things, but what it says, we had initially hoped to sneak a few bonus features into this patch, but decided instead to hold off until version 0.6, which is shaping up to be a doozy of an update, right? So what I'm trying to get to here, and Jedi's being a beast over here, what I'm trying to get to is to me, it sounds like there are some of these things are really close to being finished. Hey, Ace, what's going on? Whether it be the spectator mode, or it be what's the other ones we're looking for? Competitive nights, API. It seems like some of these things are pretty close to actually getting where they need to be. Like they were trying to get them in here, but we'll see what's going on here in a little bit. So
we've got to get spectator right in patch 6.
Got to? I don't think we got to. I mean, wait, do you mean patch 6 or like
the next patch? Then I mean patch
the next patch. I don't think we got to. I don't think we got to.
We gotta.
I mean, I love your enthusiasm. I've seen games developed, and I've seen things get pushed. So I don't think we have to. What I would love to, I think that'd be great if they could, they could get it. It could be version what? As every big patch is another one, so it could be 7. It could be we could get it in 7. We do know it got pushed to season 2. That's what we do know. It got pushed to season 2. Now where it comes in season 2, that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean there was a good chance the spectator mode could come this patch, because I think in the previous 0.5 blog post it said something along the lines like we had to delay this, but we may see this in the next balance update. And they in the new balance update blog, they said things got pushed back, so maybe hopefully the spectator mode, which is one of the things that got pushed back and season 2 start, we'll hopefully see that, because that would be a really strong way to start off the season 2 right then and there with that feature in the game.
Yeah, no, that would be huge.
I agree.
That'd be huge. And I know Pinzo's wanting it. He's got plans. All right.
I do.
He's got plans, right? Ace, you gotta get spectator mode in the game because Pinzo's got plans.
Just for me. Can you get it? Can you you get it on my account?
Just code it to Pinzo.
Yeah. Give me admin privileges, Ace.
There you go.
/OP.
There we go. All right, I'm just gonna read over this the release here that was by Alex, the lead game design. Besides that last little snippet that I already read, Happy Monday, champions! The community hunt may be over, but patch version 0.5 continues with our upcoming balance update. Balance patch 0.5.4 brings with the usual smattering of balance changes, as well as a couple snazzy new skins for you to find in the shop. All right, then. New skins, as promised. We're continuing to add new skins with every major game update. This week's new skins are Autumn Fire Sparrow, it's a common skin, and Obsidian Rampage, rare skin. All right, what are you guys' thoughts on these skins?
Well, definitely,
the Rampage skin is sick.
It is really sick. I 100% agree. I think that's one of the more favorite OG skins back in Paragon for Rampage. 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think it is one of the better looking Rampage skins for sure.
I just want wife beater Rampage.
That one is interesting. It's not my favorite. I understand why people
design choice. That's
yes,
the only reason I care about it.
that's
It's
really what
such
it
a
is.
weird design choice.
Yep. That one is what it is. Give me Magma and Scarab Grux, bruh. I like the Dragon Grux. That was my like the what it was the Chinese dragon or whatever. That was my favorite Grux. Find them store. Let us know. Okay. Our early access feedback survey ends. That's already done. So hope you all had a chance to put your survey in. I put my survey in, and I did, like I said when I read over the survey when they first came out with the patch notes. I did say things I would want removed. I did answer the exact answer I said. Larry. So hopefully that'll happen soon. All right. Did you guys, both of you, fill out the survey?
I did.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Could you imagine us partners not filling out the survey? How dare we? So, all right, community event, The Hunt. Last Friday, we launched our first ever community event, pitting Kira against Countess in a battle to see who could score the most kills. The event wrapped up just a few hours ago, resulting in landslide victory for newcomer Kira. All right, which to me is obvious, right? She's a brand new hero. She's got a little bit of a buff coming out, like that's what new heroes should be, strong, right? So she's strong, and she's an ADC. She's supposed to rack up kills. Countesses can rack up kills, but that's not like they're meant like, hey, you need to carry me, right? That's not their job. So that made sense to me. But I'm also bummed because I was on vacation that week. Like I literally could not partake in this at all. I was like, this is kind of a bummer. But I still get the benefit of getting the new avatar.
Who would you have voted for though?
Oh, I would have voted for Kira. I'm an ADC main, man.
Well, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I'm an ADC main, like anti-assassin guy. Like I don't like assassins because I'm an ADC main. Like, hey, leave my squishies alone. All right.
You probably hate me because I love assassins, but
yeah, I don't hate you. Okay, I hate the characters you play. That's what it is. Come on, a little bit aggressive.
To win, so I chose Kira.
Yeah, I just wanted to win. There you go. That's the way to do it. All right. Over the 7-day event period, Kira killed 176,862 other heroes. That's over 25,000 per day. It's been fantastic to see so many of you taking to the battlefield with our first original hero. With Kira winning the hunt, we'll be adding a new profile icon featuring the Shadow Huntress herself to the game in a future game update on top of the season 1 reward icon. Thank you for taking part in this event. As with everything during early access, we look forward to expanding improving on community events in the future, and we hope you'll take part in the next one. I'm just a little bummed that it's not already ready. I mean, I guess it takes a little bit to get it made a little bit, but I was hoping it would be in this patch.
Yeah, that might be like a season 2 kind of thing to give out, or maybe hopefully next week kind of thing.
How hard can it be to put an avatar in the game? They have already got like all the chibis, like stickers and stuff on Discord. Can't you just like copy paste that shit? I really don't know, but like, shouldn't you be able to?
That's kind of my point. Is you see a couple of like this. I mean, I'll switch over so everybody can see what I'm talking about. But if we this little thing right here on their, they have this made up, of the Countess and the Kira like little thing going on. I think they had another one somewhere else. Maybe it's not on here, but like on their social media, you see a couple different Kira, posts like of just her face and stuff like that. I literally thought that was the one. I think if I'm going to their Discord real quick, I'm going to announcements. I believe if I scroll up, there's another Kira versus Countess one. I literally thought I saw one that I'm like, it might have been on the socials. I think it was on the socials. It was literally just her face. I'm like, oh, that one looks really cool. Like that'd be a cool avatar to have. And I thought that's what it was. And then I was like, all right. But yeah, so they don't have it yet. I was like, I'm a little bummed on that.
Did it say it was only like Kira profile icon that's being added since she was like the winner of the game?
Yeah, she's the winner. So we're getting a Kira profile icon.
I kind of want to get the Countess one still, just because I want both. I'll take the Countess. I'll forgo my claim on the kill if I can get the Countess one instead. That's my request.
There you go. All right, so Drongo. Drongo's grenade got nerfed. All right, and I think this, I agree with Pinzo here. I think this is a huge nerf. Like, is huge. Probably the biggest nerf there. No, the Drongo nerf.
Oh, yeah, that one actually I care about 10% more. That grenade is so annoying.
Drongo's definitely fallen into a better place since his previous nerf, but we feel that he's still a bit too tricky for melee heroes to tackle. We're making his gag grenade a little easier to disengage from and position around to grant other players more opportunities to outplay Drongo in all engagements. Gag grenade radius decreased from 400 to 350 degrees. 350 radius. Jeez almighty. I can't speak. I'm done. All right. All right. Howie. All right. This one hurts, Pinzo being that somewhat mid-main but plays everything role. As the meta shifts, certain heroes inevitably pick up strength. Howitzer has combined the safety of Gideon with some of the high burst gameplay, raining down rockets from afar. We're flicking some switches on his mech to track down the production of landmines, keeping Howitzer on his toes, especially during the laning phase. All right, landmine, his E cooldown increased to 22, 28, 18, 16, and 14. And then his slow grenades, R&B, first grenade scaling decreased from 25% to 20%. Grenades beyond the first scaling decreased from 6% to 4%. First off, I love how they kind of like make it seem like literally like they're actually heroes and they're going to his mech and they're like actually making switches to it. I love how they kind of bring it to life in that statement. Love it. But
agreed.
The slow grenades. I, as an ADC main or as anybody who doesn't play Howie, I enjoy this. I like this because I feel like his slow grenades were a little oppressive. They do a lot of damage and then they're just the amount they do and then slow you is insane. So that 6% to 4%, I think it's going to be good. I haven't played it yet, but I like the fact that they made that change.
Yeah, I think Howie's still really strong.
Oh yeah,
like, I think he's still probably the best mid laner in the game.
Okay.
Just the idea that you can pull people, you can essentially Sevarog ult people from range. Like that's what his mine is. It's just so bonkers. If knockups were not stuns in this game, it would be more acceptable. But with knockups the way that they are, his mine is essentially a Sevarog ult from range.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And now that you say it that way, that actually blows my mind that I didn't think about that.
On a 20-second cooldown, 14 late game.
Yeah. I had I was at their tier 2. I was fighting at their tier 2 and I saw I was getting ganked. So I turned around, I was running and I had a Howie chase me all the way to my tier 2. And the amount of times that I got pushed and I'm like, all right. I'm like, he was kind of helping me, but he was still right there. I'm like, I cannot get away from this. I'm like, what is going on? Cause he like push slow grenades. I'm like, no, I'm like, why am I?
The worst is in mid lane because mid lane dips down in the middle. If you boop someone off of those little platforms on the corners, you go further and you're stunned longer because you're in the air the whole time.
True.
That's the worst.
That would be the worst. I can understand that. All right. Kira came in swinging for Countess and ended up being charged for a collateral damage. Following your feedback, we're going to shift her dusk scaling down significantly to decrease the potency of both her purge combos and her finisher potential in the mid-late game. We're also decreasing her ultimate damage to minions to prevent nasty interactions with sustain and to decrease the potential surprise wave clear. She'll also be impacted by some of the item nerfs below, so we're not swinging too harsh bat yet. All right, Dusk, her Q, scaling per stack decreased from 30% to 20%. And as you said in your video, Pinzo, that's what 60% total that she's losing.
Yeah, I believe stacks are 6.
Yeah, 6 stacks, and then so you're losing 10% each stack. So yeah, holy cow. And her Purge R now deals 30% damage to minions. That obviously it was 100%. So that's a 70% nerf that she got to minions.
Yeah, they
don't like that one.
Well, they nerfed that interaction because you can, like, if you have terminus and you press R in the enemy menu wave, you essentially get all your health back instantly because you gain all that life steal 100% to all the minions. So they nerfed that because I think they're trying to nerf that interaction with the life steal terminus and her ultimate on menu waves, so you don't have that KO just having all her HP just back up in the middle of the fights.
I don't like that one.
I mean, that is
like
exactly what it is. I agree with you, but
No,
I'm
is,
not.
yeah.
That's exactly what it's for. I just think I think that's a heavy swing. So I guess maybe that's what I asked for
I
earlier.
just think that's something that's like, don't fight Kira in a minion wave. If you're fighting her between waves and the wave starts coming up and you know she has ult, you need to disengage. Like, I feel like that's something that like brought some like knowledge to the character of like, if I ult in this minion wave, we kind of win. Like, to me, I would have given this like max targets 5, prioritizes heroes. That's what I would have done to this.
Yeah.
Because then you don't get to lifesteal insta-kill the entire minion wave, at least like not if you're hitting heroes as well. So, you know, it's something like that actually limits it, you know, just as much, but it doesn't make it feel as bad, in my opinion.
No, I agree. That's a good counter to that. Because you said that this is something that you mentally just tell yourself, hey, don't attack her in this minion wave. But that's like
you have to be careful of, yeah.
But that's like the exact opposite mindset that you have as an ADC. Like, you're like, hey, I have minion advantage. Like, let's go. And then it's like, like now it's like, wait a minute. I have minion advantage. I don't have an advantage anymore. Like, it's hard to make that switch.
I mean, so every 2 minutes you have to be careful of her. I mean, she has no wave clear outside of that, right?
Right.
Like, that's the only thing that's scary.
But I mean, that's also like, again, it's still, I think that's a positive for her in a sense, because she's got no wave clear. And if you're not playing Akira, so if you don't want a mirror match, play anything, but you have wave clear. Like, every other ADC has wave clear. So you're clearing the wave before she does anyway. So you're just giving yourself the minion advantage, which is then giving her the advantage. Kind of weird in that situation. So I think your way of changing it, of prioritizing 5
like hits 5
targets,
or spread the damage, give it an extra 30% damage, but spread the damage between targets or something like that.
Right.
I mean, they could also just maybe like go into Terminus or Lifesteal Irons and make it some kind of cap against minions, because I think there's items like maybe cause them there's a cap of damage you can do to like minions kind of thing.
Well, sorry Joey, does anyone know, does Kira's ultimate count as AoE damage? Because AoE damage is 1/3 lifesteal.
That I don't. I believe it's AoE damage because it shows you the AoE when she ults. I don't know.
Because if she's getting 100% lifesteal off of her ultimate, that's why it's broken. Like, you don't if you have 10% lifesteal on Gideon and you rock a minion wave for 900 damage per minion, you don't heal 90 per minion. You heal 30 per minion.
Okay.
It's 33%.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
If she's full life stealing off of all minions, that's why it's broken. I'll tell you that. I'm also pretty sure it hits through Steel Shield, just by the way. It doesn't count as a projectile.
That's an interesting one.
Effect, so I'm assuming taking full advantage of the Terminus like lifesteal passive kind of stuff.
Does it proc all on hits?
Yeah, like on B and ultimate does proc on hit. Correct me.
I thought it procced everything once.
No, I think it keeps procking the on hits. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a cap of on hits. So like you're not on hit effect on the 20 times in the ultimate, but ultimate says it procs on hit effects.
Okay.
I do think that there could be a way that you could adjust her lifesteal, though, her on hit effect lifesteal that she gets with her ultimate, to only get a certain percentage from minions. Right. I think that would be something you could do as well. Like, you still get the normal from words. You still get the normal from hitting heroes, right? But at minions, you could get, I don't know, 50% health from minion. If you're getting lifesteal from a minion using the ult, you're only getting 50%. But if you shoot a minion with a basic attack, you're gonna get the 100% of what you're supposed to get from it. I think that could be a way to do that as well. I don't know how to code that or how that would be done, but
that makes sense to me.
But if that's something they're able to do, I think that would be the best. Another way they could do it, either like your way, like only prioritizing 5 targets, and then hitting 5 targets on prioritizing heroes in that situation. That could be a way as well.
I mean, it's very similar things. Like, they all do this. It's all the same idea, just different ways of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this also gives her, by doing what you and me are suggesting, that gives her the ability to also use her ability to kind of wave clear. If she, not that you ever want to do that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there might be something, hey, I'm split pushing.
You have 3 waves in
Everybody's
your core, and you're the only one alive.
right. Yeah. So you want to sit there like, all right, we got to get rid of this. That would be, doing this now makes it where she even more has no wave clear. Right. At least she had something that she could have done if it was necessary. So I think that's something that I would suggest
I just don't like the damage nerf. Like if you were to nerf the lifesteal or whatever, I'd be fine with that. I don't like the idea that you cannot use your ultimate to clear waves. Like, dog, it's a 2-minute cooldown. It's not like I don't think I'm abusing it using like the fact that it clears waves.
Right. Yep. All right, Muriel. Muriel continues to be a safe pick who continues to scale well. We'd like to keep her general laning strength safe due to her lack of hard CC. So instead, we're opting to decrease her mid-late game shielding potential a bit with a small bump down on Alacrity builds. Alacrity R&B shield magnitude decreased to 40, 65, 80, 105, 130. I personally don't play Muriel very often, if at all, so I don't even know how much this really affects. So either one of you can help me out with that. That would be great.
I don't think it really affects that much. Maybe her on-B won't be as bad as Shield, but I think Mary's always been kind of strong right now since her buff, because her biggest buff, I think, was they reduced the cooldown of ultimate. Before like start of early access, her ultimate always been on a really long cooldown, but now with the buff to the cooldown, now it's not much of an issue, so you can be more proactive with that ultimate. So since they haven't touched ultimate at all, which is probably her strongest part of the kit, I think she still feels really good right now.
Okay.
Completely agree. I think you could take the shield off right click and it's still a good ability. Like that's not the reason that it's good. Late game, it's like a 250 health shield, dog. Like it's cool, it's nice. It's on a short cooldown, which is cool, but like the movement speed and attack speed is all that matters.
Yeah, that attack speed. I guess I'm playing as an ADC, or no, I wasn't playing as ADC. I was playing as a Grux solo laner. And I rotated over to take Fangtooth, and I'm sitting there hitting Fang, and I think the ADC died. So the Muriel hit me with that, and I'm just like, I'm like, whoa! I'm like, what is going on? I like this. I'm gonna continue doing this. Like, I don't know what
crazy. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm on, but I wanna keep doing this. So it was insane. Then I realized, and then she hit me with it again. I'm like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, I thought it was one of my items. Like, what item did I get that just like had me go off there? But that's what it was. Horatio, cap the lifesteal from minions. All right, yeah, that's it. I think that's just a good way to do it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a dev. I don't know how to go in and type all that, but I think that'd be the best way to do it. I think killing a wave with her ult is still viable. Plenty of damage still. Okay. I haven't used her since then, but we'll see. But I've also played her the 2 times I've actually had a chance to play her. The one time I had a phone call literally going into the game. I was like on the phone, like trying to play, and I'm like, all right, I'm literally talking for the next 15 minutes. I'm trying to get off the phone, couldn't get off the phone, so I was like not in the game, and it was bad. The other time I played her was last night, and I'm literally starting, and my son just comes out. My son doesn't come out during mid game ever, and he comes out mid game. So I'm starting, I'm trying to talk to him, trying to play, and I just wasn't. I got sidetracked, and it's damn. So I need a player and still be focused. So we'll see what it's like. Rampage, King of the Jungle, has been showing off his crown a bit too much these past few weeks. We're looking to decrease his early game damage potential and mobility, so he doesn't feel too overwhelming in the early stages of the game. All right, this is to you, Crashy. All right, you're doing too well in the jungle with him. General, base physical power decreased from 57 to 54, and his pounce, his R&B, cooldown increased to 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. I don't know. I feel like this is very minimal to him. I don't know. Like the way it reads makes it sound like he's been way too strong. And like, but then you read these, I'm like, how that still doesn't make it sound like he makes that much of a change to me. So, but we'll see. He's
been nerfed so much though. Like I do think it'll add up eventually. I just think like in my opinion, there is no alternative to Rampage right now. If you want a tanky engaged jungler, your options are Rampage or Steel, and Steel sucks PP balls in the jungle. Like, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. That character cannot clear worth shit, and you should be getting invaded for the first 20 minutes of a match. Like, if you have a Steel jungle on your team doing well, it's because the enemy jungle has no idea what they're doing. It's just he's probably. I would say he's probably the safest first pick in the game in a draft setting. Like I think that's fairly agreeable.
Yeah, no, that's a very fair thing to say. I think you can never go wrong with Rampage right now. That's another issue. You just cannot go wrong with him because I don't think there's a way you can count pick him just because he's just so good at any team comp on his side.
Yeah.
Do you think, Joe? Do you think that Rampage gets significantly worse if you nerf Razorback? Like if Razorback was removed from the game, do you think that character becomes like actually killable?
No, I think he's still really good because whenever I do Rampage Jungle, I actually don't do Razorback. I do Icecorn Talons with really big success, so it doesn't fix the issue.
Icecorn Talons is like the go-to.
Well, no, because you dive the backline and you pop Icecorn Talons, and now you have a whole slow view, movement speed view for yourself kind of thing. So just a really potent diving tool.
Yeah. No, I get it. I just like to me, Razorback is like an issue on tanks right now. And the fact that you can't get it as a support makes support tanks bad. It's just like, I don't like that item. I was just curious because Rampage is actually unkillable for 4 seconds if he's ulting with Thorns. Like he's actually unkillable.
It's really interesting. Like I imagine like a support quest where you get like a Razorback effect. That'd be kind of really cool because like the tank quest option we have for support is just like a shield for yourself and allies. The other ones are like the engage tool with Red Focus and the movie speed kind of one. There's no like a selfish kind of tank support quest time, but I mean that makes sense because you're a support like kind of tank. But it's just really fun idea to play around with the Razorback building on support and what you can do with that kind of momentum for seconds.
Yeah. All right, let's jump a little further into these. Let's do these items real quick and then jump into our little wish list. Items T2. Stalwart gauntlets. These are the gauntlets that go into help me out. I can't think right now. Stonewall, right?
Wayman can go Stonewall, Unbroken, and Tainted Bastion.
Yep. There you go. So these handy gauntlets have been a bit too powerful of a curve for tanks in the laning phase. Combined with Titan Crest, they can lead to significant sustain boost that creates non-interactive laning. To address this, we are bumping down the regen just a smidge. General health regeneration decreased from 125% to 100%. Right? Carry, Lightning Hawk. The Hawk got a healthy bug fix last patch that led to a slightly unhealthy scaling problem. We're bumping it down alongside the slow duration to lessen the run down potential when ADCs acquire this item early. Chilling Zap passive, scaling decreased from 100% to 75%. Slow duration decreased from 0.75 seconds to 0.5 seconds. All right. I think that's a decent actual change. I don't know. I can't think of the stats right now, the actual, stats that comes with this. But the passive, I think that, a 25% change, that's a pretty good change. And what is 0.75 to 0.5? That's another Tom Wands, hey, thank you so much. Thank you for the biddies. The slow duration, I think that's another 25%, right? So I think that's a good change. We'll see how that one goes. I know it's not enough for our boy Pinzo, but he'll be all right. All right, tainted rounds. Blight items are always tricky to balance due to the fine line of wanting to keeping them open while also maintaining a strong reason to purchase them. Tainted rounds have fallen off that line and are a bit too cost efficient, especially when combined with crit-oriented builds. So we're taking it down a notch. General physical power decreased from 30 to 25, and Wicked Strikes, the passive critical strike scaling decreased from 30% to 25%. So I agree with you on your video here, Pinzo, that I do think this is not much because it is a very strong item. I don't know exactly what else I would do with it. I think maybe
that low key is one of the better carry items in the game.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, it's they even the point that bugs me about that nerf more than anything else is the fact that they point out that it's overpowered because you slot it into crit builds, but it has 25% crit on it. Where else do you can't not if you buy the item, you have crit, bro. Like, what do you mean it's OP in crit builds? If you buy the item, you have crits.
Right.
Like, of course it's OP in crit builds. I just like they point it out and then nerf everything else. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, it's a tainted item. Make it bad unless you're playing against a healer. Right now it's really good because it dodges defense. It does magic damage. Like, it dodges defense. And it does a lot of magic damage, by the way.
Tainted rounds does magic damage?
Tainted rounds the passive does magic damage.
Okay.
It does at like 50% HP, it does like 100 magic damage a shot.
Damn.
Which like adds up a lot when you're hitting something like a Rampage. That damage adds up really quickly.
And also
it's like it bugs me that they point it out and don't fix it.
Remove crit from tainted rounds for sure. Yeah, no, I'm okay with it because again, like we discussed it on multiple episodes. When they boosted everything up to be 25% crit with all the items, and you know, technically this not being a crit item but having crit in it, like it does give you 5. You could definitely put 5 crit items on right now. You could do 125% crit, right?
Yeah.
If you put, you know, you can max out 125% crit. You know, they took it off of the your words crest. Thank you. I was gonna say test. I don't know why I wanted to say test. Anyways, they took off the crest, you know, to get rid of that option, but they still have it here. So very interesting. Terminus. Terminus has been a bit too potent of a sustain option for our ADCs. Relative to Kingsbane, we're bumping down the lifesteal and power to decrease the amount of situations ADCs can power through, particularly in the early game. Physical power decreased from 50 to 45. Lifesteal decreased from 15% to 12%. I mean, this is early game, a decent nerf, but late game, it's not. This is minuscule late game.
Yeah, you're talking about the difference, you know, 3% of 500, which, you know, a low end 500 damage auto attack where you're critting. Like 3% is what? You're losing 10 health, 15 health off of each auto. Like, oh no, dude. Bummer.
Yep. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not like you see it for like in that from when, like, if you build Terminus first, you're gonna see it's gonna be a slight change in the very beginning, right? But as soon as that second item comes online, you're not really gonna notice the difference that you had there before. It's gonna feel very similar like it was before this patch. So, speaking of second item, Vanquisher. Vanquisher has led to absurd amounts of burst, especially as a first or second buy for heroes like Murdock or Revenant. We're bumping down its all-in burst potential through its passive and penetration. So in general, physical penetration decreased from 12 to 10, and Annihilate, its passive. Execute decreased from 7% to 6%. There was something you said in your video there again, Pinzo, about this item. It wasn't the passive. It was something else with it.
This item was not OP when it didn't have crit.
Yeah, the crit. That's what it was. The crit. Again, we're going back to the crit.
Powered before they gave it crit. They buffed its stats and gave it crit.
Right.
On top of buffing the passive. They literally, this item pre-patch, before the carry patch, I believe, and I'm not 100% okay, this is off the dome without looking. I believe it had 50 power, which it still does. It had 8 penetration, no crits, and I believe it had haste on it, and a 5% execute.
5% execute, right?
Someone could look that up for me because that's again off the dome. But it was a 5% execute before, and they buffed it. They gave it more penetration. They gave it crits. They removed the haste, and they upped the execute.
Right.
Which is a net buff all around. No one can argue that that's not a net buff. 12 flat pen on an item for carries is actually wild.
Yeah. No, it is.
So.
Yeah, so the nerf to pen, I definitely I can see that and agree with that. I think the execute at 7%, while it is strong, it's not. It's a very
an issue with the item.
Yeah, it's a very niche situation. You know, it's not every time I'm just executing everybody instantly. You know, like it's it takes a little bit there. So I think I agree with you. If you take the crit off this item, bring the penetration down to 10. That's fine. Get rid of the crit, and I think this item is in a better spot.
Or actually nerf it. It's a 50 power item with 10 flat pen on top of crits. Like, it's just like they nerfed Terminus's power, but they didn't touch Vanquisher's power, which Vanquisher is like the power item. I don't know. Like that, the Vanquisher, I don't think the item's healthy where it's at. It only has 3 stats, so if you nerf anything, it's going to get like considerably worse. But the fact that it already had 12 flat pen and then now they're bumping it down to 10, like 10's already too much. 12 was broken. Like, take that shit down. I don't know. If Omen only has 8 flat pen, Vanquisher should not have 10. Like, Omen is a far worse item that has 8 flat pen.
True.
They could maybe like replace penetration with like ability hits, because I'm looking through like the AC items and like just like looking at all the crit items. The only one that has crit, physical power, and like penetration is that item. And we talked about earlier that there's 3 different build paths: penetration, attack speed, and crit. But there's a crit item that has like some penetration, which it's not like the issue, but like just Vanquisher, like this item around is just really, really strong with everything it does. So if the issue is it have too much value in terms of damage, then you can maybe look into like replacing penetration with some other stats. So you can still get the really nice kind of passive, but now it won't be too overloaded with damage.
Right.
That's like the concern.
Like, to me, flat pen is not a carry item stat. I just don't think it should be. Like, I'm really, and I come from Smite, obviously, but like in Smite, carry item, you don't get flat pen on carries. You're not supposed to be shooting people that like make flat pen matter, right? Flat pen's obviously good against squishy heroes. But your job as a carry is to kill tanks. Like, you should get percent pen. Like, if you really want to, for some reason, opt for flat pen, you should be like punished. You should lose stats on an item.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is them experimenting with 3 different build paths for ADC. So right now, one of the build paths is penetration. So if you don't want to do penetration with a build path, then what would be the other like build path for ADC?
Well,
then?
but what the penetration build path shouldn't be flat pen. That's my point. Like, right now there are two, count them, 2% or 2% pen items in the game. They currently stack, and one of them is significantly better. Like, if you for some reason think Breach is unironically better than Demolisher, you're actually trolling.
So what is like, help me understand, and maybe other people, because if I somewhat don't understand, I'm assuming there might be somebody else that's around the same spot as me. What is the difference between flat pen and percent pen, especially for an ADC situation?
If I have 100 defense and you have 10 flat pen, you are hitting me against 90 defense. If I have 100 defense and you have 20% pen, you are hitting me against 80 defense. If I have 200 armor and you have 20% pen, you're hitting me against 160 because you're ignoring 20% of it.
Okay.
So it is percent pen is more effective against tankier targets. The more armor someone has, the more effective the more armor your percent pen is going to ignore. Whereas your flat pen is always going to be 10. So you'd hit someone with 200 defense against 190, right? It's much less effective. Got you. So flat pen is good against squishies. Assassins, Countess, Fang Mao, they should be building flat pen. The carries should not be building flat pen because they shouldn't be shooting the squishies. And part of that, sorry, I'm going to go on a 30-second tangent. Okay. You're good. Part of this comes from the auto attack penalty in the game being so low that carries, if a squishy, aka, like a jungler, mid laner, the enemy carry steps into someone's range, that carry can track them down. They don't get one shot and then that person gets away, because the carries move so fast while they're shooting, they just run them down and chase them and 3-shot them, right? Versus you getting crit once for 800, be like, damn, and backing away, and that carry being too slow to catch you. So I think part of it comes down to that. Like, in this game, I feel like carries are too volatile because they have that option to run people down. Like, in a game where carries can't run people down, you have to position better. You get a little bit more wiggle room playing against carries, so it doesn't make them feel quite as overpowered, because if they want to run me down, they're going to have to commit like their entire body, right? You're going to have to like Drongo ult at me to chase me down. And now you're full committed. Now you should die, right?
Right.
It's just like, it's something that carries are just, they're a little too powerful in too many situations. Like you don't have to position well on them. You just get to hold left click. And I think that they should be more punishable.
Yeah. I think something that I noticed in other games, like with Fault was one of them, is that their melee characters were actually able to move faster. Their base movement speed was faster than
the same in this game.
Is it that way? Okay.
Well, okay. Actually, I don't know about base movement speed.
Right.
But the auto attack penalty is lesser for melee heroes.
Right, the auto attack, and I think you're not, when you're trying to get away from a range, an ADC, you're not auto attacking as you're trying to get away, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah,
I feel
if I'm autoing back, then now we're boxing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, now we're boxing, right? So, but I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so if they're, so I guess you could go either way with it, right? Obviously, give them more of a penalty because they're autoing, right? But you could also just give them a little more base movement speed, to be able to make that gap a little further while they're autoing. So a little bit of balance either way, maybe, or both ways.
Yeah, I just like I've been playing Smite recently, and it's like in Smite you move so slow while auto attacking that you have to choose when to auto, right? Like in this game, how long, if you're playing Grux, how long can you hold W mouse 1 and how many hits do you get in while someone's running directly away from you? Right? Like 5 or 6, like a lot, right?
Yeah.
In Smite, you get 2, and that person is now out of range. Same with ranged characters. If someone like if I'm standing right in front of you and you start auto attacking me while I run away and you hold W and mouse 1, as a ranged character, you get like 3 autos until I can get out of ranged attack range. You get like 3. You get hit me with like 3 autos.
Got you. Okay.
Like that's how slow it is. In this game, it's just non-existent. Like I literally don't know how many autos you could hit me with if we were both running in the same direction and you were autoing me, right? Like 20, right? A lot.
Yeah.
So
I just know that they tried to have the I remember them saying something similar along the lines of whatever they were trying to, the auto attack what's the word? Man, I'm blanking hard today. Sorry, guys. What we're talking about, when you auto attack and you get a penalty. That's the word. Oh my gosh, sorry. The auto attack penalty. I remember they wanted something like that. When you're moving backwards, like they didn't want the penalty a penalty for moving backwards. Because they wanted you to be able to see what's going on in the fight. So I believe that's around similar to the lines. Like they want to keep you to be able to still engage, but still be able to evade, right? I think that's kind of where that issue is when you try to, everything's staying the same when you reverse. Because if I'm trying to like get away from you, but I'm trying to keep my eye on what's going on, like I want to push back a Chimera, I can't. If I'm just running away, a Chimera is going to chase me down and kill me. I have to turn around and fight. So, I don't know.
That's a choice you make, right?
It is, yeah. But it's a choice I made. It's a choice I have to make with the Chimera. You can't just run away from a Chimera. Like he's just going to keep leaping on you.
But like at some point, right? You do have to weigh. Like, let's say there was a bigger auto attack penalty. You wouldn't be able to right now. Like if I'm playing carry and a Rampage is running at me and he's like, just closing distance. I mean, I can backpedal and auto and just like keep distance from him, right? Like it would make me choose otherwise. Like if there was an actual penalty, I would have to choose between running away and standing and fighting, right? Which you don't have to do right now. So I think like to me, carries will be either overpowered or useless as long as there's no auto attack penalty, because it's not a shooter, right? Like you talk about like, you want to be able to shoot and do this other stuff. It like in Overwatch that works because there's damage fall off, right? And you can't do that in this game. So that's sorry for my tangent. That's
you're good.
One of the things that I feel very strongly about in this game.
Hey,
that was a good point to bring up. But
Hey.
also gotta like also consider that there's a lot of items that can slow people down or make you move faster, or there's like a Murdock E, a Drongo on B. There's a lot of like different stuff outside attack movement speed penalty that help ADC stick to people or outkite people more. So that'd be kind of interesting to look into, maybe adding more penalty to auto attacks, just because there's a lot of different ways you can increase your movement speed while auto attacking right now.
Well, and exactly, I was gonna say something when we were going over the Lightning Hawk changes, but I think Lightning Hawk as designed is an unhealthy item for the game for that exact reason. I think it lets carries kites too effectively. If you have any amount of attack speed, you have that slow up so often. I think it's unhealthy. Like, I agree that if the penalties were harsher, then it wouldn't be as bad. But as is, you just get to keep people in range for literally infinite amounts of time if you have Lightning Hawk.
Yep. It is a pain in the ass to deal with, I can tell you that. But no, I don't, go off on your tangents when you have them.
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
fine. No,
we can continue to the regular.
No, you're good. My point is that's why we have you guys on here, and anybody who else wants to come on and be a guest on here, we want you to be able to spray your opinions and your critiques, so then the devs can understand what we as a community are going through and our thoughts. So it's perfect. Oh gosh, my wife and daughter got me doing that now. Ugh. All right. Viper. Viper is a great all-around for ADCs and currently provides a few too many stats alongside its powerful shred effect. We're keeping it a little more specialized by knocking down its power a tad. Physical power decreased from 40 to 35. So, again, Viper just must be a little too strong. I need to start building it apparently more, because I didn't think it was that good, but I just feel like I have other items that I gravitate towards when I play my ADC. So apparently this one has got nerfed twice now.
That's one of the few items that got double nerfed between this and like the emergency patch. Like, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't use this, but apparently I should have been using it. Like, it's got nerfed twice now. Like, what's happening? What am I missing out on? So, tanks. Galaxy Greaves. Moon Boots are super fun item to pick up sometimes, but they also have a lot of practical application. Currently, tankier heroes and supports often lose out on a few too many stats to justify picking this up relative to full tank items. So we're bumping up the physical armor a bit to keep it an open option for games where the effect could just turn a situation around. So general physical armor increased from 30 to 40. It's actually a pretty good boost. It makes you stop to shoot and auto. So there's that. That is true, Windu. Windu, what's going on, buddy?
Alive.
He is alive. So welcome. All right. The
Galaxy Greaves change is that's a yeah baby from me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was already a good item. They're buffing it. Thank God. Big stamp of approval on the Galaxy Greaves change.
So big stamp approval from Pinzo, and then we got Raiment of a Renewal. This one is probably Pinzo's favorite change. All right, the whole patch notes. This is the biggest stamp of approval. He loves this one.
Trying to rile me up right now.
If there's anything that could help make Feng Mao be a better hero in the game, this is the best right here. All right. Raiment has become too strong of an initial pickup for offlaners and supports. It ends up becoming a very snowball heavy option that causes poor interactions during the laning phase. We're going to shift its numbers around a bit to decrease its early strength, particularly on sustain/scaling heroes. That was loud in my ear. Such as Rampage and Severog. Synthesis passive, percentage of health regeneration gained from bonus health decreased from 1% to 0.5%. And the Regenerator passive, percentage of health regenerated from damage taken over 5 seconds from 12% to 10%. All right. Now, Pinzo, I need you to explain to us and the viewers why you love this change so much. Like, you jumped over the moon when you read this. You were all about it.
Yeah. Just to be clear, this is probably the worst change I've seen in this game since they gutted Leviathan in the first patch. You
guys remember what Leviathan was?
Yeah, if you guys remember Leviathan, shout outs to the 4 homies that remember Leviathan. They did the same thing to this item. They literally cut its primary like passive in half, right? And yet, just by the way, Lightning Hawk got 25% damage of taken off and a third of the cooldown, or a third of the slow. Come on, man. You're going to cut Raiment in half and you're going to do that to carry items? Who is the carry main on the dev team that won't nerf the carry items? It's just like, really? Raiment is what you guys are worried about? The only tank items that makes tanks feel tanky is the item you're going to hit first? Like, damn, man. We had one nice thing. Don't build this item anymore. Just by the way, it's not good.
Well, actually, that's
very difficult.
I must be the unpopular opinion because I still think this item is good. Because this item's always been solid. Just the fact that other non-tanks can abuse this item. Like, think of like World Breaker as a mage item. You can build World Breaker and Raiment on a magical DPS. Like, I kind of did like a fun shimmy video that did World Breaker Raiment offline and it actually worked really good. And I see other people in like EU too also using this interaction. So it's really weird. Just, I mean, this sort of seems like a punch in the gut because we want to see more AT item changes, but then, we look at got Raiment change. But Raiment was, I think, always been like a really strong item, and I think this nerf was kind of needed just because I think there was cases of this item was being abused, just maybe not as known to the general public right now.
Okay, so first off, I mostly agree with you, Joe. I do primarily agree with you that this item it's still buildable on like solo laners. This item to me was the best time for this item to be built in the previous patch was, I think, first item on supports. That was the best hero and role in the game to build that for item like early. Right now, obviously, if you're playing Sev with a bajillion HP or steal or whatever, like it's still good, right? It's still viable. Yes, it was a little bit abusable on some mid laners, but it was not abusable because of either of the passives. It was abusable because it has 600 base health on it. That is why, right? It does not World Breaker does not have interactions with this item outside of its 600 health, right? So like, to me, that's the issue. Like, if you don't like that, take the health down. I think hitting the passive, like the sustain on the passive is the wrong way to nerf this item.
Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to like bring up as that's the reason why Raiment is broken because like its interaction with World Breaker. I just use that kind of an example. But yeah, you're right in the sense that Raiment is a huge stat stick. Like looking at the stats,
it is
base health regen, 200 mana, 10 ability haste, and then you got 2 passives that works pretty solid. It just if you put it all together, it's a very stat efficient like item kind of.
It is
happening.
So what?
You can kind of build that item solo for a lot of heroes, and that's all you need to do to be able to be like a lot more beefier in a sense.
It was the best tank item as a first item in the game. It was. But
what Pinzo's saying
strong
is stop building it as a community. Stop building this item so we can get buffed again because they're going to see that people aren't using it, so they want to buff it.
They're going to rework this item. I guarantee it. They take the mana off, add 30% tenacity, bop it down to 500 health, and put the passives back to where they were. Boom! I just balanced the item for you.
He'll take his 10% cut.
Yeah, you can Venmo me later at Pinzo Dunzo.
My name's Pinzo. This balance is Dunzo. All right.
I just like that one's bizarre to me. Okay, that's all.
I know. I watched your video and I saw you reacting to it. I'm like, I just have to give you a hard time about it. So
I would do the same thing. Don't worry.
So let's go over bug fixes, then we'll go over our wish list. All right, bug fixes. There's only a few of them here. Fix some specific scenarios where inputs could sometimes stop working. Fix a visual issue impacting how certain key icons are displayed in game. Fix an issue where Kira's ultimate ability was not working correctly with Spellbreaker. Fixed some clipping issues with Kira's coat. Improved the way that some loss of connection scenarios are handled, and fixed a few bugs with camp vision after dying / respawning.
giving just the quick shout out to the new Fame Out portraits.
Yes, that's another thing that Pinzo loves. Another thing. We just keep up bringing all the things that Pinzo loves here.
It looks like Crashy. I swear to God. I swear to God. Someone give me a side-by-side of Crashy in the new Fang Mao portrait. That's not even a dig. That's not even an insult, bro. It just looks like Crashy.
But it is a dig because he doesn't like Fang Mao, and you're trying to get Fang Mao to be one of the best players. What's Heroes and you guys have this, and he's purple.
It looks exactly like him. I can't explain it, but I look at that Fang Mao portrait, and all I see is Crashy.
He's not even here to defend himself. That's the worst part. I know you're not saying. I know you're not saying as a dig, so but funny. I'm just saying he's not even here to defend it.
The Rampage portrait is clean, though. Okay, the Rampage portrait looks really good.
It does, and that one was in the patch notes.
I wish they update the Shimmy one eventually too, because since they're updating all hero portraits, I want to see update the Shimmy, because when Shimmy portrait first came out, that kind of is the one that doesn't look as
it just
good,
doesn't look like it fits. You should ask Joe and Pinzo the same question I tagged you on. You tagged me a question on Twitter.
I
don't have a tag on Twitter. You're out your mind. Soon. What? Okay, I was like, I haven't no updates. Like, what do you mean? I'm confused. All right. So what we're gonna do now, while I'm waiting for a Twitter post here to pop off, we're going to bring up wish list, because we know that season 2 is coming up around the corner. Right, we're 2 weeks away from version 0.6, which is the start of season. Should be the start of season 2, right? If everything goes correctly. So
that's the assumption. Yeah,
that's the assumption, right? And we already know the things that are being carried over from season 1 to season 2, so let's not use those on the wish list. Let's try to think of something. What are some things that we want to see on the season 2 roadmap? And if either one of you want to kick that off with something or whatever, bounce ideas off. Hero Masteries, ooh.
Because I think in the season 1 roadmap, they even mentioned something like that. And they're like, in season 2, we might bring that in. I think they made some kind of mention of it already, but I would love to see Hero Masteries or just more sense of progression in the game, because I think some people are kind of getting burned out on the game, and I think the main reason is because there's no long-term progression, sense of satisfaction progressing through the game, because the only progression we got was the profile leveling up, and that was kind of cool because we knew there was going to be a bunch of wars, but now we're getting to the last few weeks and most people are already at the level they probably want, so it's no real big reason to keep grinding out, because there's nothing to grind for, because everything's gonna get reset to 0 on season 2. So I'm really hoping that we get more permanent progression. I would love to kind of see people flexing their mastery in certain heroes and just having constant progression, because I think that really help retain player retention, just having something they can constantly grind for, because people definitely love to grind in video games.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. That's a great one. I love that with Fault. I love when they came out with their little mastery system. I'm not saying when I reference Fault, I know there's people who are anti-Fault people, and that's fine. I'm not saying their system was perfect, but I love the fact that I was able to grind for something. So I 100% agree with you on that one, Joe. That's a good one. That's a good one. Are they ready for it though? That's my issue, right? It would be something that would be great to have, but we're the skins that we're seeing them input in the game are just normal skins that Epic already had. Are we gonna just have? I don't think the Epic Mastery skins were released. So what are they gonna use for Mastery skins, right? And we've yet to see their own IP skins. So I don't even think that's gonna be a tough one for it to be season 2 as well. All I'm getting at, playing devil's advocate in that situation, that one's gonna be a tough one.
We get one of their original skins though, right? Season 2, Kira.
We get the one that we know of. Right. Well, it's 2. They have 2. They have it's a recolor though, but I mean it's of the cardinal skin of Kira. So we have that once in game right now.
No, this one.
There's a new skin, right, for hitting level 40.
If you hit level 40, you got that one, right?
That one's not a recolor though. Isn't that
that's not a recolor? That's
pirate skin. It's a
that one's not. That is their own IP skin in that situation.
That's what I was talking about.
Right.
That's what I was talking about. Right. So we'll see what their handiwork is,
Right, but even that, seeing just a picture from the roadmap, I'm still not that one's not a huge I'm not saying they obviously have the ability to make skins, but they're also not. getting any of their own IP skins in the shop yet. So it's like I'm wondering where that is, how long that's behind. Hell, they could have a fucking shop full of skins right now that I just don't know about. And they're just holding back. Like, here we go. We're just gonna slowly feed the fish and just hand them 2 at a time or whatever. So
a while ago they did like a video on the YouTube channel where they did like a little tease of some of the work in progress skins. So like I think for like Victor for example, they showed a ton of different like Victor concept skins. So
yeah,
that's something that's been like they kind of been working out in the background. We just don't know where they're at with that.
Right.
Maybe like the way they're gonna kick off season 2 really strong is maybe they have a huge like lineup of like totally original skins. So they're trying to save all that for season 2. But I mean that's just
we all get plat right at the beginning of season 2 for hitting extra levels.
Yeah, I'll get plat. Maybe. So yeah,
possibly. Right.
I like that idea. I like that.
Big Doink says Fang Meow skin when his cleave is a sewing needle with a yarn ball on top. Oh my gosh. All right. There's some super dope ones in those concepts. Yes, those concept skins that they posted in that video, those things are definitely pretty badass. The Space Monkey Richter, that would be a pretty. What was that, Richter? Or was that? Yeah, no, that was not Howie. I mean, Howie, right? That was Howie with the. He's like in the space suit and there's a monkey driving. I think that was a Howie concept. That one looked pretty badass. I think the concept's the thing. It's like taking it from concept to actual in-game art is the challenge. So, so that would be a good one. I think that would be huge, especially because that would be great for player retention. So for sure.
Agree.
Sure. Big Doink says just hire me. All right, there you go. Pinzo, you got any something you want on the wish list here? Chat, go ahead, and while we're talking about these, put in your wish list. Let us know what you guys are thinking as well. Let us know your wish list for the roadmap season 2.
For me, like the number one thing is obviously spectator for me, but like that's we know that's coming. So outside of that, I would say 2 things. Number one, so we got 4 heroes in season 1. I want 5 heroes in the same length of time. So drop another one in there. If you got to do them every 3 weeks, I think that the game is going to need some more like that's, or a double release, something like that. I don't know who would be a cool double release that's left that's like not in the game yet. Mm-hmm. I don't know off the top of my head, but Greystone and Terra, I don't know, because they're both like shieldy guys or something. Drop something like that. I think that'd be sweet. Number 2 would be more pings / customizable ping wheel. There are some things that are missing that I really want. You're welcome and no problem are the 2 pings that I need the most. I need to, when I save someone's life or when I gift someone a pentakill, I need to be able to spam you're welcome, man. I need it.
Right.
Out of mana, that's another one, Horatio. Yeah.
Yep. Windu says the one that I was kind of not exactly, but so what I was thinking, I was kind of hoping for map changes, right? And not necessarily what Windu's saying, like map changes in the sense like I feel like there's some things in the jungle that kind of need to get adjusted. I've seen a lot of people talk about they want the map to kind of be expanded in the river side of it, not necessarily quarter core, but like riverside, because like rotations are a little quick. So I think map changes along that would be cool. But Windu's talking about like map variations for like events, like seasons. Like when it's winter, we get a wintry map. When it's Halloween, we get a Halloween map. Like that would be cool as well. I think those would be awesome.
That's actually the next thing on my wish list. Is just having like potential map rework, because I think there are some like significant like long-term like high MR like balance issues just because of how the map is laid out. So I think where the map is right now is not the best it can be, and I think especially in this early access period, before you can make it a free-to-play release, you do not want to like release this map and then like 1 year later, hey, let's do a map rework, and then that's just gonna like really annoy people, right? So the best time to try to do is map overhaul, which is gonna take a ton of time, but it's gonna be during the like sometime early access, which I don't know when they're gonna be able to like do anything like that. Probably not even gonna be season 2, but I mean, I can hope. But also
Right.
just like in terms of like art direction too, I would love to see a more solid art direction for the map, because if you think of like game trailers, they kind of do some scenic photoshops of like where the game takes place. It's like, oh, that looks really pretty, really cool. But I think the map we have right now doesn't have that same kind of really solid art direction too. And maybe the art direction will come when they decide to change the map layout. Who knows?
Yeah. Windu says summer
I
map
didn't
full
think
of
the
sand
new
and
map
beach
was
shore vibes.
I didn't think new map was an option because I kind of assumed we weren't getting that in season 2. So I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, no. This is probably
Yeah.
going to be way more.
Yeah,
Because
that's why I was thinking map expand, like just give increasing the river
think
length
they
is what
touched
I
the
was
map.
saying. You don't think they touch the map? I mean, that's
think they
possible
touched
as
the
well. That's possible as well.
I think
But
they should. Trust me. I very much think they should touch the map, but I don't think they do.
if they're going to touch the map, they got to do it all the way, like make it a complete overhaul, not like little changes. There's no point in little
Exactly.
changes.
I don't think there's any small change you can make to the map right now to make it better.
no, you don't think expanding the river, the how wide?
No, I
No?
think the best thing you could do to the map right now is to mirror it, put red buff and blue buff on the same side for both teams. I think that's the best thing you could do. But I don't think that solves many issues with the map. So
Okay. Interesting. All right. We're talking about Twin Blast here in the Beach Pod. Ratio says Yin plus Aurora would be a decent double release.
I said some of the stuff about events in one of my previous videos. I was talking like, just things to get players to come back to the game, like, like a 4th of July skin and stuff like that, to just make the game feel a little more lived in,
Right.
I guess. Like, it's something that's like the game feels a little empty right now. And I think part of that is because it's, it doesn't feel very lived in. It doesn't feel like there's really a lot of like beating heart behind it at the moment. It's sort of shelly. Like, obviously the shell looks really nice, so we're sticking around because it's good. But
Do you think an EU-based company is going to make 4th of July skins, though? Isn't that kind of like treasonous with them?
I'm guessing that at least 80% of the player base as of this moment is NA, so I would hope so.
I mean, they can also do. Like,
Can you
downtime.
imagine the cringe that they're really like, I don't want to draw this. I don't want to do this right now. No, I think all the different skin idea, like skins would be great. Like, just show us. I think that to me is a big thing. Is like, you see some of these people that are comparing the two games with Predecessor and Paragon the Overprime. And Paragon the Overprime right now just has the skin game on lock. Like, their skins are beautiful when they come out, right? And I would love to see like Pred's like, here we go. Here's non-epic skins. Look at all these that we have. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. That's what I want to do. But we've yet to have that ability to do that. And I still don't feel like we're just going to be able to do that just with the Kira skin. Like, I'm not saying the Kira skin's not going to look good, but I don't think it's enough to be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I think they have to be a little careful, though, because you do point out Overprime, and the Overprime skins are pretty sweet, right? So if Pred releases their first, like, tier 3 skin or whatever, that's like gonna be the new Shinizzle, and it's not very good. Now you're looking at the company that doesn't know how to make skins compared to Overprime that obviously does know how to make skins. And it's obviously not skins, skins aren't 100% of the game, but like skins sell. Like, if you don't have good skins now, like you're gonna be behind a little bit,
Well, that's what this Alestron says, that they're gonna save the best skins for when there are more players to buy them.
Exactly.
Putting a skin out now doesn't make it not sell 5 months from now, or when that new player comes in to play this game, they're going to see that skin, they're going to want that skin, they're going to buy that skin. So if anything, putting it out now, you'll have more people buy it, because there's going to be people who buy it now, and those people are going to fall off the game. Like, we're going to have fall off, right? People aren't going to stay here and play the whole time. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But if you put the skin out now, those people are going to buy it now, and then they'll fall off, and then the new people coming in, they're going to buy that skin too, because it's great. So technically, having the skin in the store for the longest time is going to give you the best amount of chances to be.
Yeah. it really doesn't hurt to put like really cool skins in right now, because once the skin is in, it's going to be part of that like library of skins. So
Right.
it's only going to get bigger from here on out. So they release a batch of really cool skins, and then over time they have more skins. So by the time free to play release happens, then you have a huge library of really cool, unique skins. So it really doesn't help. It doesn't help to kind of put some in now and just kind of build that up over time. Kind of play like the long game.
What about more exclusive skins? Like we're getting an exclusive Countess and Huntress skin, right? With the end of season 1. Like what about something like that? Like you can only get a skin if you play a game during 4th of July week or something like that, and they give you a Shinbi skin wearing a bikini, you know, like I don't know. You know, but you can only get it for that week, and then you're SOL.
I would imagine they do more limited time skins once like the free to play release, because it kind of feels bad for like those players that they join the game when it's actually officially released, but they're missing out on a ton of skins. It doesn't hurt to have one too, like
but it makes it exclusive. It's cool for the people that have it.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it doesn't have to have some. It doesn't have to have some. But I don't want like 20 exclusive skins in early access.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Kyo being exclusive skin for season 1 early access players can be a cool thing. It won't be like really kill the enjoyment of the other people that come in later. But I think just doing 1 or 2 here and there doesn't hurt, I don't think.
Everyone special here now says, wouldn't people who paid for a beta be more likely to spend money on a skin than someone who just picks up a free game?
Casting a wider net.
Well, yeah, you're casting. Making a free game is casting a wider net, but putting it in the store right now with people who paid for a beta, like this is a game they're already invested in. So why would they not invest more? You know, if they're already invested, like all right, you start falling down a rabbit hole, you're just going to continue falling down a rabbit hole, right? You don't just stop, right? So like most people don't just stop. You can obviously, but if you just picked a free game, you know, it's like, all right, well now I got to spend money. It's like you kind of hesitate, like, yeah, I got this because it's a free game. If I start spending money on it, now you hesitate on that. So I agree with them there. You make more money, but again, put it in the shop as fast as you can. The better chance you make money on it. And then Windu's question for everybody while we're waiting, and you guys can still think of more on the wish list. He says, what if I told you it might be years, all caps, until the game is finished / ready? What would you say? You wanted me to ask you both that question. So either one can start off the answer with that one.
So I guess I can say that game development does take time, but I feel like where the game is at in terms of like player base and all that, it really depends. Like I want this game to succeed the most. If they have to take more time to do it, then I want to trust in that decision. But at the same time, it's a little tricky, I guess, because we do want to see a more complete game. We want to see this game succeed, but trying to do that 2 or 3 years of like early access, I think feels a little bit too excessively long. I feel like they can probably make this game ready to go free to play in about 1 or 2 years at most. I don't think it should take 3 years or more, at least in my perspective. Because the biggest concern is the deadlines they have to meet with their investors, right? Because I don't know, I'm not sure how the whole investor thing worked with them putting money into this game, but I don't think investing into a game and not seeing that game do much for 3 or 4 years, I don't know if that's like something the investors ideally want to see, kind of thing. So they have to be on the kind of clock on how they want to be developing the game, and when they make that big release kind of thing, to really show off to the investors, hey, we made this game succeed, your money and time and that's what's worth it 100%.
Yeah.
I mostly agree. I think the fact that we are entering early access season 2 with version 0.6 and ending season 1 with 0.5, I think is a very telling sign that they are planning to launch into what I'm assuming is beta at the end of season 2, right? Which we're presuming ends around September if it's the same length as the first one. I think if they were to announce tomorrow that this game is 2 years outside of going free to play, I think the game dies. Like I don't think the game survives 2 years of EA. If you when it comes out, do people come back? Yes, it does. But like me, I'm not sitting here for 2 more years of EA. If that's the timeline we were talking, I'm finding another game to make content on, right? Like I'm kind of capped out on Pred as it is as far as content goes. Like I'm not sticking around for 2 more years of this. But at the same time, it's like I think they're pretty much ramping up to go free. I think they have to go free to play at the end of season 2. Because otherwise, I think that the game loses too much steam. Like if you keep a game in early access for a full year behind a paywall, I think it loses too much steam. So I think they're on top of it. I think they're going free to play at the end of season 2.
Real quick though, free to play does not mean full release. Those two are not exclusive.
I assume that that free to play is coming with like beta. Again,
but beta's not full release.
Yeah, but to me, full like I'm talking about get out of EA, because yeah, it's.
How is beta not EA though?
If it's free, it's not early access, right? It would be beta. Like Smite was in beta for 2 years, right? While it was a successful game, it was just listed as beta. It was just not technically full released. Like you have games
Fortnite was in early access for almost 2 years, which was still considered a beta. Fault was in beta for 2 years, which was still early access, and I also had a free to play towards the end. You can still do beta and early access. None of those are exclusive from each other. They can all be together.
You could use the term early access to describe a beta, but like to me, the difference is access to the game. Like anyone can get access if this is a free to play beta. Like it's and literally anyone can download the game for free and go play it. Like right now, it's early access. Like not everyone can play it because it costs money. It's obviously not like an alpha, but like I don't know. My point being that unless the game gets a large influx of players, aka going free to play, in 2 years the game's dead. If you keep this behind a paywall for 2 years, the game dies. They have to go free to play, and then after that, I literally don't care what they call it. I don't care if you call it early access. I don't care if you call it beta. I don't care what you call it. If it's free to play, the game is surviving.
All right. No, and that's fine. I'm not arguing to that point because that's just that. That's a great opinion to have there. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying when it comes to, I agree with you that it needs to go free to play, right? Because we cannot. I dealt with this with Fault. We sat there and we fought with 150 concurrent players, and it was rough, right? But I dealt with it for that long. I rode Fault all the way out until it died, right? So I was there for the whole time in that situation, and it's not good. It did the full release. It did the free to play early access, and it still wasn't enough. But they also didn't market it at all, right? So this team needs to market their free to play when they go free to play, and that can definitely help this game increase. But I just want to make sure that people know that those are not mutually exclusive. When you go free to play, does not mean that it's full release, right? Full release is when it's like, hey, you can literally go to GameStop right now and buy this game, off the shelf. Like this is a already full-fledged game. Obviously, League of Legends still make changes, right? You're going to still have updates to the game. The things are going to still be ever evolving with a MOBA, but it's not full release. And I think that's really the question that Windu was asking is, if there's years until this game is finished, right? Is that what he said? Finished or ready? What did he say?
So I think
finished/ready. What if I told you it might be years until the game is quote unquote finished/ready? So I guess Windu, you're in chat. Let us know what you mean by finished/ready. Are you talking about free to play finished, or are you talking about full released finished? So
I guess maybe my point was that if it stays behind a paywall until whatever you call that, until it's finished, I think that I think I'm, maybe look for another game to stream unless there's a large influx of players. If they sponsor Shroud to come play the game and the game gains 5,000 daily players, then it's a different story. But like where it's at right now, if it stays exactly where it's at for 2 years, I am not satisfied with where I'm at content wise, and I will look for something else.
You also need to consider that free to play alone won't help the game thrive. You have to like make sure like the game can be ready to go free to play, like in terms of like having like all the different features in the game, having like the wake mode, having like all these other different features. Because like if you make the game go free to play but still missing all those features, then all you're gonna do is you're gonna drive people away, and you failed your first impression of the game. So if they want to do the free to play release, I really hope that the game is in a really good state to make that really good first impression. It feels like a complete product. I guess it's the main kind of concern for me.
Yeah,
agreed.
Nope. I mean, my answer to it, and I commented on the Twitter post, is I'm here for the long haul. Like this is a game I really enjoy playing. I can play the other games here and there. And I'm gonna play in 2024 as long as it's released when it's supposed to, unless it gets set back again. I'm gonna play college football when it comes out, right? And that's probably gonna be my main game. But I'm still gonna play this one. I've always enjoyed the MOBA. Once I picked up Paragon, back in OG Paragon days, when I picked that up, that was I'm oh man, I'm loving this, and I fell in love with that. And I bounced back and forth between that and college football, and so I'll probably do the same thing here. And it says, serious question is, at this stage of Predecessor, do you feel Fault was a more competitive / complete product the day it shut down than current Pred? At this stage, current stage, no. At the stage that Pred opened up early access on, yes. So
yeah, I guess my point maybe was more for like as a content creator, I'm and
yes,
I'm pretty much capped out. I'm pretty much capped out on where I'm at in Pred. Unless 10,000 more people join the game tomorrow, like I'm going to be a 100 viewer streamer and a 2,500 views per YouTube video, YouTuber for the next 2 years, if that happens, right? Like if it stays where it's at. And
right.
To me, that's like, I want more than that, right? So if the game is stagnant for the next 18 months, I'm finding something else.
Right. I mean, I
will go somewhere else.
Right. I mean, I'm not talking about being stagnant, but just because something's not finished / ready doesn't mean it's stagnant, right? We could have another 25 heroes added, within that time frame or whatever. Like I pulled a number out of my ass right now, but like if we got 25 new heroes out of this game, that means that's also a bunch of IP heroes. Like what about that as being stagnant in that situation? And no, obviously with that
stagnant, not the company being stagnant. I mean like the player, like the amount of players in the game, the amount of people in the community. Like my content is not, I want it to go up, right? Like I want that's my goal. And this game, if it were to, stay on its exact path behind a paywall that it's on right now with zero marketing, etc., for the next 2 years, I would leave.
Yeah. And no, that's a fair thing to say, because you want to keep growing like your content creation, but you can't do that with the player base that remains roughly about the same. The player base is not going up. If anything, it might be slowly joining down during this like downtime stuff like that. Yep. So that's definitely a fair thing to say. But on that point, I think it'd be kind of interesting that they've been mentioning a lot about like console release. So like I know like they do betas on like console kind of stuff, like did that with Paragon. Did like I think they even did the early access on Paragon console. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you want to try to like up that numbers while making this game going full free to play release, they could look into maybe opening this game up to console behind the paywall. So maybe like an early access, like hey, season 2 starts, we're gonna open this up to console kind of thing. So on this day you can go play this on your Xbox or PlayStation. They could do that to help bring the numbers up a little bit without full committing to the whole free to play release to the general public, if that makes sense.
Now, Windu says something similar to that, along the lines of console, whatever it is. It says it's wild, but just having the game on console is massive marketing and word of mouth. A lot of games see PC player base explode by simply being on console also, because now all their console friends told them to play it. I mean, that's that's and it's true. It's in the sense, especially if it's Paragon was that way, right? I picked up Paragon and I found out that it was cross-platform, and I'm like, wait, what? I can play with my PC friend. I literally had 2 PC roommates that I'm like, oh hey, I played on console, I played on PlayStation, and I was able to play games with my PC friends. I'm like, oh gosh, like let's. So I literally kept on. I told everybody on the ship because I was in the Navy at the time. Anybody that I knew that was a gamer, I told them on the ship, like, hey, this, and we picked it up and we started playing Paragon. And some of them stayed, some of them left. It is what it is. But hey, I agree that bring it on console is going to give a good boost on both sides, PC and console. So,
agreed.
Grux Grusty says
it's got to be crossplay, right?
It's got. In my opinion, it has to be. Is there any way they drop it on console without it being crossplay?
I mean, they have to do crossplay because everything they're doing, like, look at the items and how there's only like.
Yeah, they're setting it up for
flaws. They have it all set up to make it work perfectly for console. So I don't see why not they do crossplay.
Right.
I think the reason why they designed the system the way it is.
I think the biggest thing with crossplay is just competitiveness and how that works. And I think you can do a ranked mode where you select only depending on how you want to do it. We'll look at, like, right now they have their top 100, right? Your top 100 is your top 100, and then your top 100 of solo duo, right? So you could, it's in a sense separated. Hey, these are the people that are 5 stacking getting top 100. These people are solo queuing and duo queuing and getting top 100. You do the same thing. It's like, if you want to do ranked matches against PC players, against console players, here you go. You can have a ranked, a mixed ranked, right? And if you want, hey, I only want to play against console players, here you go. I'm a console player. I only play one as console players, and then you have a PC one. You could do that. Obviously, the player base has to be big enough for that, but I think that would be the way you do that, because that's the biggest thing. If you're doing just quick play, it doesn't matter if I'm playing against a PC player, if I'm playing against a console player, right? Let's just play the game and let's have fun. That's, you got people playing right now that are playing controller. I'm just saying that I don't think it matters, me personally, because I'm not that real. I'm competitive, but I'm not like crazy like that. But I'm talking about like the huge, like, competitive big heads, like, oh my gosh, like, no. The peer guys, like, no, it's got to be this way. I don't want anybody to have auto aiming whatever, aimbot, cheating, whatever, the purist. So if you want to have it, then you can do it, is what I'm saying. That's possible. So yeah. Grossi says, it feels like we're missing simple things that would help build friends and communities, such as chat box to talk while waiting in queue. Why does something simple like that seem to not be priority? Are they really that afraid of toxicity? I wouldn't say that they're afraid of toxicity. I'm more saying that right now in this state of the game, they're not worried of growing the community or building your friends, right? You have the ways of doing that through Discord and through Twitch and stuff like that, and getting to know people that way and growing that. Right now, they're not focused on growing the community, their player base in that situation. I think that is something, I agree with you, that's something that would be great for when they are trying to push the player base and trying to grow that into a bigger player base. That would be something that could definitely be helpful in that situation. Because especially the no chat in the role selection, like, you need chat in role selection, like, to discuss what's going on. Especially like if I jump into duo queue and me and my duo queue partner, like, we both like, hey, we got carry and support, like, let us have it. And then you got somebody else that picks, like, just pick and carry or whatever. It's like, hey, we're literally duo queue together, like, let us take it, just little things like that or whatever, like, you need to have that in that conversation and role selection.
I agree 100% with that, but on that note, I want to see being able to select your role before you queue up, because I play League of Legends for a couple years. I'm so used to just selecting primary, selecting role, and I'm going to give one of those two roles almost every time. But when I get into the lobby, it can be like a coin flip between the 5 different roles. So along with the chat box kind of thing, we'll coordinate a little bit better. I would love to see being able to, I want to do like offlane as my primary role that I queue up, because I want that role to be kind of like the role I want to get most games. So I kind of see that instead of just us trying to like coin flip on the roles we want, because maybe you have 5 carries in the lobby, unluckily, whereas if you select a role before you queue up, you should hopefully balance out the different roles people want in that lobby.
Yeah,
I don't think you can have role queue in a game that has 1,200 peak players.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably the reason why we don't have it quite yet. But I'm assuming eventually, we should hopefully see that kind of feature into the game, just like you will before you queue, once the play base is much larger.
Agreed. It would be sweet. Like Smite has roll queue, you know, but it's not. Smite has a couple more players than this game, so it works a little better. Roll queue would be sweet. I do think that chat during roll select is like a must. Like you got it. It can't be that hard, dog. Just put it in the game, please.
Yeah. 100%. That's what I was also saying. Definitely, that's something we want to have right now.
All right. So I just catch up on chat here a little bit. Crossplay and cross progression were already announced. Where was that announced at there, Ratio? I didn't see it announced. I mean, crossplay and cross progression. So just that statement right there. Technically, you have crossplay and you can have cross progression just with Epic Game Store. The Epic Game Store and Steam. Like those, that technically counts as, because that's a cross platform and cross play. So like, yeah.
Cross progression is different though. That means you can
cross
link your
progression
console account to your PC account.
Technically, yeah. So Steam and Epic don't have cross progression as of right now, but I do believe that is in the plans. So I could be wrong, but I do believe that's how it is. Even Int says I do believe cross progression will be a thing. All right.
That'd be sweet. It makes sense, right? Like a lot of people play on PC, even if they like would prefer to play on console. So like if they're here to grind on PC, you know, I think it makes total sense to let them keep the stuff they grinded for onto their console account.
Holy cow! I'm so far behind on chat. You guys were going like ham. Appreciate it. Love to see it. Yeah. So I think that's. I mean, a wish list. I guess skins. I want to see skins, and I don't want to see epic skins. I mean, I do want to see epic skins. Epic had great skins, but I want to see some more IP skins. So
yeah, agreed.
That's what I want to see. I want to see some more IP skins. I want them to show off their strength. So, boy, do I have a wish list. Hit us with it. That's what. Yeah, hit it with a choice. Let us know your wish list. You will get the hunter skins. I want more. I don't want IP character IP skins. I want Murdock to have an IP skin. I want Grux to have an IP skin. I want, even though he's not that good of an assassin, I want Fang Mao to have an IP skin.
Okay, speaking of Fang Mao skins, what's your guys' opinion on like creator partner? Like, do you think Pred partners should be able to get like an icon in game, like something like that?
Oh, that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Cool thing to do.
Like obviously skins are like it like hypothetically if you get creator skins that's a ways out, right? But like I like give me a fucking Pinzo glasses icon in game or a Wolverine beard icon in game. Like
yes.
Top tier.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can I just get like a Grux skin with a beard? I just have a beard on Grux. I mean,
right?
I
mean, like, come on.
The bearded Grux skin, sweet. Like, I'm all about it. Like, that's, we everybody would know that's him. That'd be awesome. Let's go. I'm all about it. But yeah, like I have our. That was something again. I know we reference it, but again, it's what I know. All right, just like Spinzo referencing Smite. Vault had that for us partners in the game. We had our little avatars, so we would submit our they gave us the dimensions. Hey, we need this dimension, and we'd submit a picture in for our dimension. So my the 3-claw logo that I had was in. No, it wasn't. It was my 3-claw logo. It was my somebody drew. Jay Offlane was one of the artists for Vault for a while back. He drew me as Sevrog. He, Sevrog, and put my face with a beard in Sevrog's little hood, holding up my holding up my
your old logo.
Yeah, my old logo, holding up my beans.
Yeah.
You know, and he that was my avatar in the game. So like when I loaded in the game, you would see that logo, like, oh wait, you see that avatar, you'd say, oh, I'm going against Spirit Wolverine.
Was it only you that could have it, or could anyone?
It was all the partners. Oh, then I could have my avatar. Logo. Only I had my. They were his talks. That was, you know, this is future things that they were trying to get if possible. But there was talks for them to get it to where like basically maybe our subs could have it, whatever, or something like that. Somebody could purchase it, and then we would get like a kickback on it or something, you know, for that. But that was something that never obviously populated. But that would have been cool. Yeah. You know. So, but that was the talks that, you know, in our little chats that we had, and that would have been cool to have that. So, Horatio found a post confirming cross progression. Can I be permitted to post? Can you whisper it to Windu? Windu can post it. Just links. I don't have links because those damn bots. Click here for new follows. Blah 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 blah. Bigfollows.com. Yeah. So I just have it
Classic.
where only fucking. So yeah, whisper it to Windu, and Windu can do it. Or if you just DM it to me and Discord, I'll post it. Either way.
Someone mentioned in the chat, but someone was saying
I missed it.
If we can have different voice announcers in game.
Oh, voice announcer packs would be huge.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because does Smite have? Because I know it's 100% like in the
Smite has 100 different announcer packs.
Yeah, because I think all in all high-res games they do that for like Paladins too. They do different voice packs, so that'd be really cool. Like, because I think the voice packs, some of them were done by like casters or like people, like actual people.
They have like some pro players and like. I mean, when they do crossovers, like you can have Megatron be your fucking announcer in Smite, like or Optimus Prime, or they've got all the girls from Ruby have announcer packs, or the casters, the top like a bunch of the content creators have announcer packs. Like that shit's sweet. Like that would be awesome.
Choice Play says, I want true spectator mode for the game, not a replay that has a 3-minute delay and anyone can just sit there and watch. I want TOs to have the power to control that info. Plus, there's a ton of tools I'm hoping are there for spectator mode. Okay. Yeah, we didn't touch spectator mode just because we know that's something that's already been announced. But, I mean, that's a little in-depth more with the spectator mode. I didn't know that would be a thing. I always know of spectator mode to have the delay, so that'd be interesting. What and TOs? What's TOs? Anybody help me with that?
What?
What is?
Where are you reading chat?
I was up higher with Choice Plays. He gave his list or part of his list.
I'm assuming that's tournament organizers.
Yeah, tournament organizer. Okay, tournament organizers to have the power to control that info. Okay, gotcha. I just didn't know what TOs was. So, all right. Slipknot and Smite. Wait, what did I miss? I said Slipknot and Smite. You know, it's funny. It's like I would growing up. I never really was a Slipknot fan. Their look was
the weirdest Smite crossover they ever did.
Right. Their look was
not the right art. It was not the correct target audience.
Yeah, I bet. Their look was interesting growing up for me, but like I was, I wasn't like really into their music. And then I was listening to when it first came out, that Stone Sour Through the Looking Glass. I was listening, okay, I can pretty smooth song. I can listen to this, and then come find out that lead singer is the same lead singer for Slipknot. I'm like, wait, what? That's like two. Like this is not like that's like it's like these two don't fit. Like what? So tournament organizers. All right, yeah. So everybody's confirming tournament organizers. Okay. Freedom is your right. If you make that request, we will honor it. Optimus Prime. Nice. Good quote. All right. Good quote. All right. I need an Arnold voice pack. If the core is getting hit, I want to hear get tot. Oh, get to the chopper now. Okay. When he said Arnold, I was thinking, hey, Arnold. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. Nice. But Windu's young, you know, so I was thinking I was like, you know, thinking
Windu's like 40 years old.
Windu's like 40 years old. That hurts me because I'm older than him. LMAO 40. All right. No,
Sorry,
these are.
Windu.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just how it is, dog. Sorry. Y'all look ancient to me, okay? So
I need a Jason
Wait,
Statham
no,
voice
you
back.
I'm 21.
You're 21. Okay, I'm like 23. So we're both the two
Okay.
youngsters.
Yeah, you're
The two
cool. You're
youngsters.
cool, Joe. You're cool.
Yep, I'm the old guy here. It's all good though. All right. If we, I don't know, I want a cat dog voice back. Oh my gosh, please no. Please no. Y'all are youngins. I didn't even say my age yet. But apparently if Windows 40, I'm up there. Man, if y'all don't chill, I'm 28. Oh man.
100.
I'm 29. Oh, see, yeah, you guys are all young. Don't even worry about it. All right, give me ranked. Yes, ranked is something too. Ranked wasn't on the roadmap last one, was it?
Well, they're going to do competitive nights, not
Competitive
like
nights, but yeah,
Which
so
we
ranked.
didn't get.
Yeah.
we
So
didn't get this, so that I assume that's the season.
so
thing
let's ask
as
that
well.
question. Do you guys think that we're gonna get competitive nights, or do you think they just they roll right into ranked instead?
I don't think the game is ready for ranked mode, just because we were talking about how the player base is not the most ideal right now. I mean, you look at the queue times for a lot of us, and I'm staying in queue for 5+ minutes most of the time. It's really hard to get games going, so you add ranked mode to that.
Are your queue times high because of the ranked Discord?
That Discord died.
Oh, did it die? I didn't know about that.
Pretty much. There's less. I would say there's less than 5 matches played in that every day.
Okay.
Yeah, even before that Discord, my rank queues, before that ranked Discord, my queue times were long, anyways. And it was
Gotcha.
even made longer because of the Discord, so it's kind of hard to do general pubs when that ranked Discord is popping off.
Right. No, I didn't know. I didn't know it died. I knew of it, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a game played in there for like the last couple days at least.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No. If that's the case, then I also agree that it's not ready for ranked. If we this is as small as the player base is, but I was thinking that's where a lot of the player base was hiding.
I mean, that's why competitive nights could be a really cool thing, because it's like a temporary ranked mode. So like it just temporarily the player base may be a little bit split, but as soon as the competitive night is over, it goes back to regular pub. I don't think the game's ready for a permanent ranked mode, but for competitive nights here and there, it'd be kind of a cool thing to try out and do. 100%.
Agreed. I agree. But in game, the competitive nights is listed as a 5v5, right? So
yeah. Well, like do you want to?
Is that pre-mades? Is that 5-man stacks?
Well, that's another question. Is that like the actual what's going to be, or is that like a placeholder, and that may not be like how it turned out to be? But a 5v5 only game mode is something that's actually not what I expected actually for competitive nights. Everyone assume that's what they're going to go with.
If it's stacks versus stacks, like I think that'd be sweet.
I think that would be horrible.
I think it'd be, I mean, obviously a bunch of games would get rolled, right? But like,
yeah,
to see if they leave it open for 4 hours and then they post the next day the team that won the most games, like that would be sweet. Assuming that matchmaking, that your normal MMR is still in effect, then, you know, it's still gonna be like fairly balanced matches outside of the top 1% where you have like Reaper's team queuing and they're gonna like slaughter most of the people they play against, right? So like it's, you know, assuming that matchmaking's still in effect, I think it'd be sweet to just like leave it open for a couple hours and then post who won the most games the next day. Like as a team, I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah. And Windu says it. I think that's 5-man scrims. Like, and I think that's like the scrims are already happening. I know Crashy's team's already getting scrims together. I know Pinzo, you got a team that you guys get all your scrims together. You guys are already doing scrims as it is. So like, what do we need competitive nights for if you guys are already getting your scrims on? If it's gonna be that way, right? And that's why like people ask me, hey, you want to do what's the word? Starts with a C, not customs. You guys want to do custom matches? I'm like, no. Good, because I already get rolled enough as it is in quick play. Why would I want to go into a fucking stack team that I'm like, yeah, here we go. I did that one time with Fault. I went into the Spanish team came up, hey, we need one for SA. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll join you guys. And I literally just got rolled on. I'm like, yeah, that's not fun. I'm not gonna sit here and do this again.
The only Fault tournament I played in, I won. So
I didn't join any tournaments because I didn't want to get rolled on. I'm like, I don't like to do it. Like that's not for me. So
yeah, I think on one side doing like a party size of 5 only for competitive nights could be really cool. But at the same time, I think that's really hard to like balance around because obviously you bring up the point people are always doing scrims. So the people that's always been doing scrims are going to have a huge event. So what happens if that team that always been scrimming goes against a team of 5 of friends that never really scrimmed together? Who's going to win that kind of match? So I want to
assuming that MMR is still on, right? You hope that doesn't match up.
Yeah, of course, like MMR will be helping to balance that out, but it doesn't matter if you have a team of 5 that play a whole ton together and the team of 5 high MMR probably just got together for one night. Like I think the coordination team was going to be vastly different in that game. So I think it's just kind of hard to balance that kind of aspect, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
No, I understand. I do mostly agree, to be fair, that, you know, again, if you get people in your 5 stack and it's you're playing on EU and you play against Neft and his 5 stack, like that's a game you just lose, right? Like if I'm partying up with 4 of my friends, that is the least fun game of Predecessor I've ever played, right? That's surrender at 10 kind of stuff. Right. So, you know, like I totally understand that would be possibly unfun, but who knows?
See, I disagree with Windu there. Not this one here, but the one that I'll read next. He says, well, scrims only happen if you contact that specific team, but this way you scrim against all 5 stacks and see how you compare without making it official. But then he says, turn off MMR for competitive nights. If you join the 5-man competitive night scrim, then you get what you deserve. No. That's not fun for the community, and that's how you just get people like, oh, this is what their ranked is, you know, because they don't have it ranked right now. That's what their ranked is, then people are just going to leave and not come back.
I agree with Windu, actually. Mm-hmm. I kind of think they should turn off MMR in casual queue. I think they should just
hell no
do anything right now.
Wait, in casual queue, not competitive nights, turn up MMR?
Just normal queue.
No,
I think you could turn it off. It doesn't do anything. I think it makes my games worse, actually, to be completely honest. I think my games would still be a coin toss every time, right? 50-50. Do I get the good players or do they get the good players? But like, I don't see it. No,
I think you're just like you and Grashy are just in that small 1% again, and no. For us down here at the bottom, no, don't do that. That, you know, you're gonna, by doing that, you'll lose the majority of the player base. You talk about wanting to go play a different game. You're gonna be forced to go play a different game because you're not gonna sit in queue long enough, because you're gonna push a lot of players away by doing that.
It's not even about queue time for me. I just I got a second account from the Kira thing where we got to play Huntress early. So I now possess the second account. I played a game where I was doing sub games with my viewers. I played like 3 games, and after those 3 games, I won those 3 games. I was queuing with the exact same people that I would queue with on my main account. It took me 3 games to get there. Like, if 3 games is all that separates a brand new account and top 50 leaderboard, like, dog, what? You might as well make it random. It's still a coin toss. If they guess heads and they get tails and they get matched against me, you know, bummer. Your fresh account got matched against me. Sorry, dog. I like, that stinks, you know. But like, I like, that sucks, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't change if you turn off MMR.
I still think the MMR does make a difference, because I would hate to like try to bring 4 of my brand new friends into this game, maybe try to 5 stack kind of thing, and then MR just turn off and we go and get the really high MR 5 stack. This is not going to be fun. Like, maybe, like, again, like, the reason why the MR is a little wacky is because the player base is not as big as it could be, so that's part of the one thing that's really messing up like these queues, but still somewhat helps in this sense. And I mean, once the game is a lot larger player base, you want to have that MMR turned on for those 5 stacks still, so you get like more balanced games. I just hate to like friends get together, play together in stacks, and then just get rolled over by really experienced players kind of thing. I think that'd be like the hugest turn off from getting into the game.
And
yeah, I mean, again, I see both sides. I know I'm in the minority on that one. I was like for me on NA West, I really don't. I don't think it would change my games. Obviously, you know, on the bigger servers, you guys would probably feel it a little more. But
yeah. All right.
Yeah, they clarified that he says only that for competitive nights.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I completely agree for competitive nights. Like I think you just if you are 5 stacking into competitive night, first of all, it's called competitive night, right? I'm assuming that you are not taking your 4 newbie friends into this queue. Like you should. That's a dice roll, dog. I think that's.
I'm one of the 4 newbie friends.
Competitive night.
So and on that note, what they could do is for a competitive night, let's say you start on the fresh MMR. So if you lose the game, then you're going against other teams that lost the first game. If you won the game, you're going against teams that won the game. So they could do like a MMR reset on competitive nights, and you can build or lose MMR exclusively in that 5-man stack competitive night. So that's something they could do to kind of make it more kind of.
No, I like.
There's a reason you're not in my friends list. Exactly, and I'm one of the newbie friends. That's fine. Do you guys think split pushing is effective? Yes, 100%.
Yes.
What do you mean, You can't say that. You can't disagree with us and not explain it. Come on now.
I think it's overrated. I think people don't know how to play against split pushing.
I mean, okay.
If you're already losing at games, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose to a split push. If a game's even, you can counter a split push.
We're not saying it's not counterable, but it's still effective.
I mean, like it's something you can do. Like, I mean, going 20-0 is effective. It doesn't mean it's like something you should do every game, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
what?
Is a strategy,
what? 20-0?
Because like imagine this one example. There's a feint twist coming up. You can either go and like fight to 5v5, or you can just split push and you can see you draw people away. Because especially if I'm playing like Crunch, I don't want to fight 5 people at once as Crunch. I want to fight 1, maybe 2 people. And so what I could do is I could split push, force someone to come over, or while they ignore me, and they just kind of push into T2 into the inhibitor. So I mean, there's different times to do it. Right? It's just knowing when to do split pushing will help you really like get a lot of pressure on the map.
I agree that there's a correct and a wrong time to do it. But like if let's say you're split pushing on Crunch, and let's say the rest of your team, your jungle is a Kai and your support is a Decker. Now you have actually 0 front line on the Fangtooth fight, and your team's fighting 5v4, right? Like my team should run over yours, and then now we're alive. Even if that you kill some or one on our team, now it's 4v1. We can send someone back, and now we have 3 people on the map. They can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, split pushing also take consideration of your team component, There's a lot of different like factors.
Yeah. I think people they see someone split pushing and they kind of freak out a little bit, and it's like you actually have a man advantage. Like if you go win that fight cleanly, you gain a lot more than the guy that got a tier 2. So I do think people kind of freak out a little bit when it comes to split pushing. But
Windu says towers take too long to take down. Winning a team fight has way more value than a T2. Primal Fang and Orb Prime have way more value than a T2. Yeah, I mean, if you're taking Orb Prime, I don't know why you're split pushing. It's literally on the same side that you're on that map, most likely. So,
when you split push, you're not trying to give up objective. You're trying to just have pressure on the map, because now if both teams are trying to hover Fangtooth, but you have one person split pushing, that kind of draws pressure away, because you can't just ignore that person. So as long as your team doesn't fight, they can just stall it out, and then all of a sudden you have someone pushing. So
it's like having an inhib down. Just wait for minions to crash.
Yep.
And then someone does go and try to answer your push, then you have prior to rotate back to objective fight. Someone has to deal with that wave, and now you can fight 5v4, for example. There's a lot of different things you can do with split pushing. Just knowing how and when to use it correctly is what you need to do.
Right. Nope, I agree. And that's I just think I don't think it's always the right choice. I don't think it's always the best choice. But I do believe there are plenty of times that it is effective, to answer the question, right? That's where I guess when somebody is it effective? My answer straight up is yes. right? And now are we going to get really in depth like we just did? And that's fine. I'm all about the discussion. That's what we're here for, right? Is it always the best choice? No, not at all. No, there's definitely things you could do better to help the team in situations or whatever, but it is effective. There's also times that you just doing it's not good.
Solo queue. If you're talking solo queue versus like an actual scrim or whatever, completely different scenarios. Obviously, so 100%. You'd almost have to put a situation in front of someone and say, "Do you split push here?" and like play a little "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" sort of thing, right? Like that. That's sort of how that would have to go for you to get like an actual answer,
right? And the mandatory even says it here. You gotta be a character that can split push, though. You can't just have a Sparrow YOLOing into their inhib alone, right? Yeah, especially because she's got no escape, and she's squishy, right? So I love split pushing with Grux, especially if I'm able to get up there, do some damage. Might even use my Ice Core and Talons to do some more damage. Put some more damage on there. For the tower, you get the tower down a little faster. Because that's on like a 30-second cooldown, if anything. So if you are a carry that split pushes, you have Terminus Online. Changed my mind. Yeah. If you're Akira, before this patch, Akira with Terminus Online, you just auto the minions. Or you just alt the minions, you'd be good. All right, we are over our 2-hour time though that we normally go for. So we are going to finish up here. I enjoyed our wish list conversation. I definitely enjoyed our little inputs on the patch as well. Lil Seabass, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the team. And but yeah, let's do our little outros here. We'll go in the same order that we did last time. So Pinzo, Joe, and then myself. And everyone's special over here trying to get me going here. Oh, and Grux here trying to get me going here too. All right, I see you guys. But anyways, yes. Pinzo, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure you're ready. I'm Pinzo. You can follow me everywhere. Pinzo on YouTube, Pinzo on Twitch, Pinzo on Twitter. I make content daily. I stream kind of almost daily. So, yeah. That's kind of it. If you know me at this point in the community, you probably already know who I am and know if you like my content or not. So if you don't, go make another Reddit post.
I did enjoy your show.
I feel like that was targeted at like one person.
I'm just saying, I've had the most Reddit posts made about me in the community. Okay, so don't mean to flex or anything.
That's just because Briddick's not around anymore.
Yeah, probably.
R.I.P. Briddick.
I'm good to
Briddick as a streamer. Now, hold up. Time. Briddick didn't pass away, guys. All right. Briddick as a streamer. He hasn't been around recently. I don't know. Wait, hopefully he's back.
You didn't hear?
No, didn't hear. Tell me.
He didn't text you when he died?
Yeah, he didn't text me, man. I missed it.
Damn.
Is Briddick a doctor yet? I don't know. He might be.
He's on the way.
Miss Briddick, yeah. See, like nobody like I know he's in the process of becoming a doctor or whatever. It's like, good luck to him. But he's not active in what I think they made the post for he made a video when Kira got announced. Her patch went live. So 0.5. He made a video for 0.5 and that's it. That's the last thing he's done.
Video like once a month.
Yeah.
To cash in on that sweet sponsor revenue. I understand.
Right. So, hey, to each their own. Again, I'm just saying that's why you're getting the Reddit post about you and not him. You get him back, and then your Reddit post will calm down.
I'll work on
it. Start calling him up. Hey, man, I need you back. I need you to be my tank. I need you to take some of these. Briddick, I need you to take some of this aggro. Pinzo and Briddick do an Army of 2 Predecessor content. All right, we're gonna trade aggro. We're gonna switch heroes.
Yeah, dude, switch in.
All right. right, sorry. All right, Joe, your turn. Let us know where we can find you. What's going on?
Yeah, so you guys know me. I'm on YouTube all the time, make daily content. I also have a Twitter page, which I occasionally post some really cool clips here and there, but I also stream. I try to stream once a week on YouTube as well. So definitely, even that way, go check me out. I hope and hopefully you guys enjoy my content.
Oh yes, definitely. Windu says, I'm just glad it's Pinzo and not me this time around. Well, that's because you haven't closed down a Discord server at any time recently, Windu. If you start shutting down with Discord servers like you used to, then you probably would get a lot. So,
Dude.
he's sending me a DM right now. He's like, what in the world? I want Ailip back. Oh yes, that'd be great. So, all right. As for myself, I'm finally back from vacation. If you can't tell, I got a little tan on. So went to Florida, had a good time down there. So we're back to our normal content. So we got Monday is our normal trying to solo queue, get better at the game. Tuesdays we're here doing the Predcast. Wednesdays playing with viewers, and Thursdays another more like solo duo queue, trying to get better at the game. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, time off with family and stuff with that. So I guys hope you guys enjoy this. And then I'm trying to get videos. I gotta get back on that content grind so I can get videos posted to YouTube and TikTok. All right. But other than that, Windu, since he's here, but he's not able to be here, Windu is still posting a lot of content on YouTube. And I believe he's gonna get back to streaming here shortly. I know he took yesterday off and today off because feeling too well, so he should be back hopefully tomorrow, feeling a bit better with the streams on that. But you can check his content on YouTube for there. And then Crashy, also not feeling well, he's been posting content every day on YouTube as well. I believe I even saw him streaming last night on Twitch, so you can check him out on Twitch and there. And then our other content creator, Medkit, is in the process of a move, so he's not able to be here, but I believe he still has a lot of YouTube shorts that are being posted. So follow his YouTube shorts there, and then once he gets back with the computer in front of his face, he can start making more content that way as well. As far as Pinzo and Joe, thank you guys so much for stepping in. Pinzo, man, I gave you literally less than 2 hours, and you're like, I'm on it. So love it, man. You're always on the spot. Appreciate it. It's great. And Joe, you jumped in right as soon as you found out we didn't have anybody last week. You're like, hey man, hit me up. I'm like, all right, got you. So appreciate coming in clutch, guys. Really needed it. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next, not the next episode, on a next episode. And then we'll go from there, and then we'll get somebody else. Hope we should probably, hey, put a whisper in the devs' ear. Let's get the devs on here, right? Let's do that. So. All right,
so
see if we get a dev here, so I can yell at them. All right, come on, devs, get on here so Pinzo can yell at you. So, all right, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.